The protagonist never would have guessed that all he wanted was to live a low-key, under-the-radar life in this other world, yet over a dozen harem girls were dead set on keeping him around. Tired of being tied down like this every day, he suddenly remembered a dungeon relic his old crew of dicky friends used to talk about, an item that boosts everyone's affection for the person who has it. With that thought, he sneaked out of town while the harem wasn't looking. Meanwhile, the Lord's daughter got word that a massive horde of pigmen was marching straight for their city, and the protagonist, who just left the gates, ran right into the group. At the same time, the guild master of the Adventurers Guild had been standing guard at the city gate. He waited from afternoon till night, but not a single pigman showed up. Instead, the protagonist strolled over casually. When the guild master and the harem girls found out the protagonist had already taken down all those pigmen, they scolded him for being so reckless. The protagonist could only feel a bit helpless about their reaction, and his desire to get that artifact only grew stronger, reaching its peak. So, he went to ask the item vendor about the relic. Turns out, that legendary item was called the Pheromone Ring, and it was usually hidden in areas no one had ever reached before, roughly below the 50th underground floor. After learning the dungeon had a total of 100 floors, the protagonist set off immediately. When the harem found out he was about to do something dangerous again, their leader, the class rep-like figure among them, wouldn't just stand by and let it happen. Once his plan was exposed, the protagonist stopped hiding and strutted right into the dungeon. The leader and the others followed right after him, only to accidentally trigger a trap and plummet down into the depths. What surprised the protagonist, though, was that they landed on the 101st floor, even deeper than the 100th. This wasn't just the final boss anymore, it was the dungeon's hidden boss. By then, the protagonist had come face to face with the dungeon emperor. Just the magical aura the emperor exuded made it nearly impossible for the protagonist to get close. Using his appraisal magic, the protagonist saw the emperor was level 100 and most of his skills and information were marked as unknown. Thinking liches, like the emperor, were supposed to specialize in magic, the protagonist decided to win with close quarters combat, but he was still too naive. These days, what mage doesn't know how to fight up close? Next, the protagonist unleashed his ultimate move, fusing all his skills into one powerful attack, but the dungeon emperor knocked it aside without breaking a sweat.